Welcome to the video training session for the Salesforce CPQ. In this video, I will be talking about the configuration attribute. So what is a configuration attribute? With the help of configuration attribute, you can modify the values of multiple product options within the same group. So that will be useful to provide more dynamic way to put more inputs during your code configuration. So it is not necessary that to modify the product options always. So you can have some uh, uh, fields which will be placed on the top of every feature or on the code line editor, uh, through which you can modify or you can provide more values. So accordingly you can have multiple or the connecting price rules and product rules to behave accordingly and to modify your code lines or provides the selection or deselections on the actual code line or the product options. So let's see in practical how you can create the configuration attribute and how it is useful in terms of providing more flexible way to configure your code lines or the code. The first requirement is you will have to go to the product option. Okay, so here the case is like I need to provide one pick list on the code line editor where I will have values called US and worldwide, and I need to introduce new product within the same bundle called mobile phone, where if the product is being sold in within the US, the shipping cost will be a zero, or else if it is selling outside the US, then I need to get the I need to apply for shipping cost. So right now I have configured one more product within my bundle, and I have assigned the $50 as the list price for that. Alright, so let's first go to the product option object. So that is again the Salesforce CPQ object, and here I have already configured one more field called shipping info. And here I have added the values called US and worldwide. So that is the first step you need to take before configuring the or the creating the configuration attribute. So it doesn't matter like how many configuration attribute you create, you need to create a equivalent fields on the product option object first, and later you have to create the same field name, I mean with the exact API name and with the same values in it on the code line object as well, if you want to use that field in the future. I mean that I will showcase you like how it will useful to get it on the code lines. Alright, so our first step is done. We have configured the shipping info field, that is pick list field, on the product option object. Then you will have to go to the bundle product, because I need to showcase that configuration attribute within that bundle. So here is the related list of the configuration attribute. So I have given the name shipping info, and target field, it specifies that like it specifies field on the product option that will hold this attribute value. So anyways, I have already configured that field and copied that API name into this pick list. I need to make mandatory to select that configuration attribute. Now let's keep the row order 1. Let's keep the row order 1 and column order 1. I will show you once it get placed on the code line editor how this configuration affects the actual placement of the configuration attribute. So again here we have options to select the feature where you can place within the feature, and in case if you try to, or you will need to create a product rule or the price rule based on some calculation or some selection on the actual product option, so that time you will need that value to be placed on the product option. So in that case you have to click on this field to apply to product option, and if you need to make that change happen as soon as you change the configuration attribute value, so that time you have to check this box, apply immediately. But if you are planning to execute that configuration attribute on save click, so that time you can skip that value and you do not need to select this. Alright, now let's save this thing. I have created the same field on the Kotlin object as well. So our basic configuration, attribute configuration is done. So let's go to the code and see how, let me just refresh this once again, how the configuration attribute plays on my Kotlin editor. So let's select the mobile phone because I have created the configuration attribute on the mobile phone product. Alright, so here you can see the configuration attribute is placed on top of the mobile phone bundle, within the bundle, but on top of the of every product option. And here below that you can place that configuration attribute on within the feature. So let's go back to the configuration attribute, and here you can set the feature as well. So let's say you need to place inside the hardware. So let's go back and hit the refresh. So whenever, yeah, and the key point here to remember is if you place that configuration attribute within the feature, so their effect will be limited to the product option which are there inside the feature only. So it won't be applied for all the product option except those are within the same feature. And but if you do not associate with any particular feature, it will be applied to all product options. Okay, so here you can see that now the configuration attribute placed inside the hardware feature. So it's up to you. I mean, if the scope of this field or the usability of this field is limited to this product option, you can place within the particular feature. If not, then you can place it on the on top of the other all product options. And we have a field placement called row order and the column order. So that again, it's divided, let's say 1 2 3. So right now it is placed onto the left of the screen. So if you want to place it on the middle, just provide the value 2. If you want to place it on right side of the corner, right side of the screen, then make it 3. And row wise you can increase it. I mean, if you have number of configuration attribute. So this is how you configure and how you place the configuration attribute. Let me revert back to the original one. Alright, so now it's on top of the all product options. Okay, so as I said earlier, I need to use this configuration attribute in a such way that if user selects the US as the shipping info, so it's kind of a delivery address. So if it is going to be shipped within the US, then I want to make this product option. So right now we have called shipping cost product, and now it is 50. So I want to restrict users to select this product. So user won't be able to add this product to the Kotlin editor when the product is going to be shipped within the US. But if it is outside the US, I mean if user selects the worldwide, then I need to select this product by default. So user has no need to, I mean the salesperson has no need to worry about like what product options has to be selected and what need not to be selected. So that will be happen automatically on selection of the configuration attribute called shipping info. Alright, so I skipped this video and I have configured some product rule on top of it on top of the configuration attribute. So I'll be having separate video for that. So I purposefully haven't included that part into this video. So what I did, I have configured two product rule based on the shipping info. If it is US, that product rule will look for shipping cost and it will just disable and remove from the product option. And at the same time, if the shipping info value is the worldwide, then it will enable that product options and it will select by default. So let's see. And as I mentioned earlier here, I have already marked the apply immediately. So I do not need to wait, like select the value and then click on save and then it will perform the operation. I need to make it happen immediately as soon as I select this value. So if I clicked on worldwide, so as you can see, the background process start and the product rule actually enables this product and added to this or marked it as selected, so that the shipping cost will be added to the actual code. But at the same time, if salesperson try to if he sets the value US, then if you scroll down, you can see that the product option is not disabled. So even though if you try to select this product options purposefully, he can't do that, because using the product rule I have marked this product option as disabled and removed. So in that case, we can restrict salespersons to avoid the inappropriate product option. So this is how you build the enhanced logic based on configuration attribute. So we can use the configuration attribute in many ways. So that this is just the one simple logic to showcase you like how the configuration attribute can be configured and how it is useful in terms of code line configuration or the product option configuration.